Let's do this. Oh, let me turn off the volume so I don't hear myself. Okay, cool. Got the mic, speakers, good to go. Okay, cool. Um, all right. So yeah, I'm excited, everyone. So in today's video, I'm just gonna give you guys an update on what's going on in my life. Just took a new role as a head of business development to work with the one and only Ian Koniak. He was the number one seller at Salesforce, and I've been a part of his community for the last 2 years. So it's definitely a match made in heaven. To be able to leverage my business development skills, and then also be able to like combine the marriage of personal development and sales coaching as well. So Ian's been my coach for it would be 2 years coming up in like a month. Well, actually less than a month, like 2 years as of yeah, 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks it'll be around the 2 year anniversary. So that's going to be pretty wild. So and today's LinkedIn Live. If you guys have any questions, ask and yeah, I'll be able to see the comments. Oh man, I gotta hide myself. It's weird to see myself like this. But so yes, in this video, in this LinkedIn Live, I'll answer any of your questions, share a little bit more context into what is Untap Your Sales Potential, what I'll be doing, the huge opportunity that exists, and just some of the amazing human beings I've met along the way. So you're in for a treat. It's gonna be quite a ride. So I'll be working with Tanvir Mustafa. So he's had a pretty decent career at Salesforce as like a young up and coming super talented dude. So he's currently head of sales right now. So we're going to be working very closely together. And for people who have never heard of Ian, do check out his content. He's an amazing influencer. Just to give you a little bit more about his background, let me share. I would do a bit of screen sharing today so you guys could see like what a little bit of everything. So he has 72,000 followers on LinkedIn, because obviously when you're adding a lot of value when that's the case. So here, let me share my screen with you guys. Yeah, so Ian's currently the CEO right now. So shout out to Ian. So he's sold over 100 million. He's a LinkedIn top voice. So his course is basically how do you make $500,000 to $1 million a year in tech sales, right? So the demographic is enterprise sellers. Yeah, so you could check out all the testimonials. Yeah, so 72,000 followers. So a lot of people. Um, and what I enjoy most about Ian is like his vulnerability. So he's personally has helped me a lot in my marriage and just like a lot of things that I'm working on in terms of like self-development, self-esteem, self-love, etc. Um, so yeah, so the community has grown. It's about like 200 people in the community. So there's a mix of bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, depending on how much coaching you want and how much support you want. But I think what would be helpful to talk about today as well is because I do think it's important to kind of complete the past before you start your new venture. So there's this exercise called completion that is really helpful. And completion means like I'm just kind of honoring the past and kind of all the mentors and people that I've met that have helped me get to where I am right now, to be able to have this amazing opportunity that really combines the best of both worlds for me, right? Which is the personal development stuff combined with a bit. And yeah, so I'll be looking at different screens because I took some notes about what I wanted to talk about today. So um yeah, but when you do live streaming, it's a little bit distracting because it's a little bit of a lag. And then I'm here, but I'm also looking to make sure that I'm looking at the comments and set in case of like anyone posts any comments. So but yeah, so my journey started off, I would say, in tech sales. So I worked at a company called SHI, like pretty much right out of college, and that was what got me into like technology. And I would read on Reddit, and I was like, man, like what? Like there's people on Reddit that would talk about how they're making like 300, 400, even 600K a year in tech sales. And it's like this is back in 2000. 13 when I was like reading up on a lot of this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like that's crazy. You can make that much in tech sales. Because at the time I was making like maybe like 42,000 to 50 something thousand a year. So like wasn't that much money. And I would interview people on Reddit, like Reddit sales, and that's how I started podcasting. So that was kind of like my first foray into tech sales, as you would say. And then I met a lot of really cool people at SHI, but ultimately I was doing more of account management. Honestly, it was like more of like glorified customer success. And then I got my first tech sales job at a company called Revo. Oh man, it's so behind the. All right, maybe I'll look at the comments later so I don't get distracted. At a company called Revo, which is this startup. So I moved all the way to Connecticut. And so shout out to Jim Frasco and James Hodgson and Christian Ducker. Those were like the first badass account executives. I was like, man, like these are great role models. They're making good money, like just really good people. But that was my first like account executive role. It was a junior account executive essentially. And then I went to Yelp for a brief stint. And that was, I think I was going through a little bit of like soul searching and a bit of, but had some pretty decent success at Yelp. You know, doing really well there. And then I went to Bounty Jobs as an enterprise SDR, and I had a lot of success. Like I won Employee of the Month, and we were able to implement all these sales tools like SalesLoft and was a part of the evaluation process. So that was really cool. And I was like the first SDR that was hired there. And then we hired other SDRs, and well, they call it BDR there, but essentially the same thing. And had a lot of success. Like I remember booking meetings with like Coca-Cola and Procter and Gamble and MetLife, and like that really helped me build my confidence. And and then I went back to become an AE back in 2016 with AlphaServe, which got acquired by Escasso. But that was probably the first role where I had some difficulties. There wasn't really any sales training or anything like that, but ultimately I felt like a fish out of water. And then I found my confidence again at Cheetah Digital as an enterprise SDR, where I got to work really closely with Adam Reagan and Mark Miller, which were enterprise AEs that were making like boatloads of money. And that was really cool to be able to like be able to like learn from some of the best and be able to sit in like a fly on the wall on all these like Fortune 100 meetings that I was booking for Mark. And he really took me under his wing, really taught me a lot. So that was really cool. And planted some seeds where like, some of the deals were like multi-million dollar deals where like the earning potential of like how much you can truly make in tech sales. And then Mike Ragone hired me at TriNet, and that's when I feel like I really found like my confidence like really started to skyrocket. And I had a lot of success there. I was like third ranked rookie of the year. Um, Shout out to Tara Plastock and Peter Ford. That they were very, very successful, and it was just cool to be able to learn from such amazing people. And then I went over to LinkedIn, and I won like Relationship Matters Award, LinkedIn Culture and Values for LinkedIn Learning Onboarding. I was a wellness champion. I was founder of Asians in Sales. I was involved with like a lot of these charities, LinkedIn Asian Alliance, and then Cheers for Charity Board, Toastmasters. Like I was like crushing it. And I think LinkedIn was what really opened me up to the world of like influence, like being like an influencer. And I sold LinkedIn Learning, which was like selling leadership development. So that was my first like true foray while selling personal development as a product, and just absolutely fell in love with like, hey, I get to work with people who are literally like training other people. Like this is so cool. And then I went over to Coach Hub to sell coaching. So I was helping mid-market. So I went from SMB account executive to mid-market. So I was able to get more experience selling to much larger, selling a product that I absolutely love, which is helping So think Uber model, but with 3,500 coaches with corporate. So I was able to be very successful there. Was one of the top account executives there, which we called senior transformation consultant. But basically, I was a mid-market account executive, hit 115% of my quota, and then I left Coach Hub to go to Udemy, which was a competitor of LinkedIn Learning, and I was an enterprise account executive. So that was the most money I ever made in my life. Honestly, it was like really, really, really good money. Had some success there, but ultimately, like, didn't really care about technical training as much. Like, I was still selling to L&D departments, and and then I went over to be a sales director at Fortune magazine, helped build out their first Fortune's first mentorship program in the 100 plus years it's been as a company. And then I had like really, really well-known clients like Salesforce, Workday, Xerox, and helped out a lot of their and ServiceNow, for instance, and helped their leadership development programs, basically helping a lot of high potentials and helping vice presidents get promoted to the C-suite there. Went back to TriNet for like a brief stint, and oh crap, I need to up. So that's kind of confusing. All right, well, I'll figure it out. And yeah, and then I tried my hand at entrepreneurship for the last 9 months with Valenta. So shout out to everyone I met at Valenta as well. And then also did a lot of career coaching where I got to help a lot of people with their like career related things. So all in all, I'm sharing with you all this because I do think it's important to like honor the past and just talk about everyone that has been such a huge influence. So I'll make a bigger post about this. But Christy, thank you for your vote of confidence. Like Christy is an amazing human being that I met. Marcus Chan, Brandon Fluharty, Jamal Reimer, because of Pavilion, Enterprise Sellers Community. Nishan, thank you for being an amazing mentor as well. I met all these amazing human beings, and I just saw the power of mentorship and what it can have on your career. So Jack, Scott Ingram, thank you for. If I haven't listened to Scott Ingram, which brought me to Austin, Texas, where I met Ian, I would have never signed up for his program. I would have never met all these like tech sellers that are making over 500,000 a year, and just being exposed to that environment was transformative, right? Just really opened up the opportunities for me earning potential wise, which is why the last 9 months decided to become like a full-time influencer. So that really gave me the space to make a lot of content on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn Lives, as you're seeing. I've been doing a lot of LinkedIn Lives, the podcast. So it's been a pretty wild journey. So I just want to say thank you for everyone that has made this happen. But yeah, I mean, there's probably way too many names but thank you, Zach Mulhall, Garrett Rothels, Andy Linder, Carter Perk, Mike Ragone, Paul Park. Man, I've had so many mentors, so you guys have all really inspired me to like really just double down on growing this, and it's yeah, it's just a journey. Oh, people are starting to post on my post. So yeah, keep your head up if you're struggling with the job search. I really had to like I really this has been something that I've like it honestly, it's been a dream for me to work for Ian, and he's transformed my life in so many ways, and be able to be surrounded by like top tier talent and just like incredible people like Christy and Mike, who is the chief revenue officer at 100 Handshakes. So yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more content obviously in regards to this. So now I'm gonna cut these clips up, put it on Opus, which is a video editing tool, and then make the same announcement on Facebook. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be posting this on like Facebook and all that good stuff, just so that everyone knows, and uploading this onto YouTube as well. So Thank you, everyone. Cheers to loving yourself and to being able to impact the world and just being open to the possibilities. The world is an amazing gift. Don't forget how amazing, how awesome you are, and keep shining, my brothers and sisters. Cheers.